Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and happy Mental Health Awareness Week and month! Woo! Today I'm going to be sharing 5 different grounding techniques that I like to use and I have learned. Just to put it heads up here though, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a professional, I'm just a person with lived experience. So let's get to it. So why use grounding skills? It can help with anxiety, depression, flashbacks, dissociation, and a lot of many other factors, and it's very handy to have these skills. So my favorite grounding technique that I like to use is the 5-4-3-2-1 skill. So I've heard a lot of different variations of this technique, but this is the way I like to use it. So this is one of my personal favorites. Each number represents a sense. So when you start on 5, you look around your area and you find 5 things that you see. Then you go with 4 things that you hear, 3 things that you feel, 2 things that you smell, and 1 thing that you taste. So I heard a lot of many different techniques though. So some examples that can vary from mine is you see 5 things that you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things that you hear, or like 5 things you feel, 4 things you hear, and so on. It's whatever works for you. If you want to take this technique to another level, you can start describing what you see, feel, hear, smell, taste. Did I get them all? I think I did. So, for example, you could be feeling your sweater, for example. This feels soft. This feels smooth. It looks gray. And like keep describing it as detailed as you want it to be or as little as you want it to be. It's up to you. Whatever works for you. My second favorite grounding technique is something I actually recently learned. I can't remember where I found this. I might have found it while I was scrolling through my feed, but it's having something sour. It's such a game changer. So I find this really helpful for any kind of grounding that I need, whether it's if you're dealing with a panic attack, a dissociation episode, or some intense flashbacks. It can be very helpful, and it's like a wow. It's kind of similar to like putting your hand in ice cold water technique. Personally, that's not for me, but I hope that can work for you too. Then my next grounding technique is breathing. So on another episode I did like a year ago, I have a whole list of like 5 different breathing techniques that I personally use and really like. So I suggest checking out that video. But if you're like me, I constantly forget to breathe, especially when I'm anxious or something. So like, breathing can really help me ground. You forget how important breathing is until you need it. The next technique that I like to use is taking a walk, whether that's outside, in the mall, or in your own home. Sometimes you just need to actually move and like feel the ground under your feet, you know? I personally like using a meditation app or a mindfulness app that helps me guide through the walk, but you can do it up to you. Some suggestions could be just being more mindful of your surroundings. You can try and just be aware of like, I see the trees, I see the carpet, I see the stores, you know, and just those kind of things. I tend to use a 5-4-3-2-1 when I do this, taking the walk, for example. Grammar. Last but not least is reciting something. So I find this very helpful when I'm in a very anxiety-provoking situation. As a music nerd I love reciting solfege. I learned this trick in class of doing solfege and just going up and down the scale like do, do, re, mi, re, do. When I'm in a wise mind state, I can do that really easily and without much of an effort. But when I'm in an anxious, panic-provoking situation, when I do it in my head, it takes me like, okay, I need to actually think about this and like really ground myself to the moment to do it. Sometimes I do the hand gestures when I feel like it, you know, because it's fun and it's a little exercise because I am a music nerd and it's good to do some ear training. But it's also really helpful for anxious moments. In a previous video, I think I mentioned something about this character I saw in a book, which I wish I remember what the book name was called, but I found it amazing. Credit to whoever the book writer was and which book it was, because man, I wish I remember which book it was. But this character, this fictional character, whenever she got anxious or something, she multiplies stuff by 3. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, and so on. Another example of reciting something could be like quoting your book that you know by heart or a lyric that you know by heart and like using that to ground yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun sharing my grounding skills, and I hope you learned something from it, or any of these skills could be beneficial to you. Do you have any cool grounding skills? Leave them in the comments below. Let's help each other out. I hope you all have a great and safe day. Take care, everyone. Bye.